Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is brought to you by BeSimply.
Stars, trees, clouds, and the moon. They all have a meaning and they look just like you.
Brought to you by BeSimply. I want to welcome you all here. Today we're connecting to the full moon. It occurred approximately at 11:09 Pacific Standard Time here on the North American continent. And just shortly thereafter, the lunar eclipse started to occur around 11:26 a.m. again here on the west coast of the North American continent. And while it's not visible, it still can be felt. So the other part of the world was able to see that if you were east from Europe all the way down into Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and maybe some of the islands nearby these regions. As I've been taught, we're not to look at the eclipses. So you'll notice even with the graphic that I created, I did not put an eclipse. I think I've done that before, but I was like, I really need to honor what I was taught. And the reason for that is that this is a time of listening. So the transmission in a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse is a time of deep, deep listening. And so I encourage you, because we will be having more, if you haven't been inclined to do that before today, continue listening because the energy continues. And also, as the other ones come up, remember, stay inward. This is a good time to meditate. Whatever your practices are, just really anchor in listening. And we're at this beautiful sweet spot. One of my favorite times of year is we anchor in going into this next almost annual cycle, really. It's a time of shedding and preparing for so many things. And with that, you are afforded the opportunity to listen in relationship to yourself and see how that applies to the world on the inside and the outer world. And so when you take the time to do this, you will start to sync up. And you'll start to recognize what and who and how you're being guided from the unseen to the physical world. And so this lunation has been very watery, meaning opening up the heart and welcoming in that remembrance, as I put in the title, and connecting us to the mother, the grandmother, really, the abuelas, the nonnas. They are speaking. Your ancestors on the feminine side are speaking and reconnecting. And so you might notice if you've been inclined to connect to different parts of your family, maybe things came across your pathway. Like last week, I was delivered this cake recipe from where my Italian part of my family is from, and that just the flavors and the recipe just brought me back to my Nonna and my great Nonna and all of that. So with that being said, it all is bringing us back to the unseen mother, connecting to the earth mother, connecting to your ancestry. And typically it is the mother that grabs everything back together again. When there's chaos, it's the mother that actually gets everyone back in tow. And so this moment is an opportunity through your feminine side. We have both masculine and feminine through the yin to really get it back in tow. And this might require some remembrances for each and every one of you. And it also will require some releasing from the heart center. And as we also get to be held by the earth energy, if you're in the northern hemisphere, this is late summer. And our brothers and sisters that are in the southern hemisphere, you're anchoring in at still the water, the feminine, and before we pass the baton into fall and spring. And our island nations, the equator, you are a rocking center. You're rocking our intuition and really that alchemical connection to beyond, to here. And so within all of that, it's the feminine, and it's watery, and it's wanting to hold you and cleanse you and remind you. And so see where you're naturally being called to reconnect to and to re-honor. Just because something is one way does not mean that you have to honor it that way. And then there's also your soul that has remembrance, because that's where you've accumulated your highest gifts, your sacred gifts that are within you, and you continue to refine them. And so just because you had a short lifetime with those gifts, you've been accumulating and refining them as you move through each lifetime. And there's an aspect of the epoch that we have been in where there's been a lot of moving away from that, like not wanting us to remember the tools that we have and the gifts that we have and the aspects of ourselves that really cause us to be engaged and remember different cultures that we weren't even a part of in this lifetime. And there's a reason for that. And at this specific moment, you're being called to reconnect, if you so to choose, to this aspect of your grandmothers. And you might be from many parts of the world. You might just be from one or two. However, I encourage you to take the space to meet and connect. And the best way to do that is through the land, the culture, the food. That gives you a sense and what is speaking to you. And as you notice what is speaking to you, you'll be able to reconnect to it. And it's also important to remember that you can have spirit family that calls you home ancestrally, or you might have a calling to certain places that are expecting you. In addition, you magnetize to a family that has roots that are connected to this earth plane. And when we connect to the earth plane in this way, it's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to remember was and what probably was yours before there, being passed down to you. So with that being said, this is a beautiful time. And there's also this activation within the ancestral grandmothers that are recalling many things that you've forgotten and helping us remember at this moment in time. And as you remember, I just want to encourage you to take time not to rush to what that means and allow it to unfold, because more than not, especially in a Western culture, people are very quick to run forward and grab something and call it theirs, and they haven't even taken the space to truly understand why they're gravitating towards it, or why they're embracing it. And that is an important step. And just because maybe, like, let's say in your garden, you're all of a sudden inspired to plant a certain plant, like a sunflower, but maybe that's not how you're to commune with the sunflower. Maybe you have a greater gift at growing lavender or chilies or potatoes or trees. Who knows? But it might be the sunflower inviting you into the garden. And rather than run, wait, sit, and be, so that you can start to get glimpses. And sometimes, more than not, the linear time that we perceive isn't now. It could be in the future. And the reason for those glimpses are so that when you meet them, not by force or grasping, but when you meet them naturally, you'll know. Like, I get it now. And so this moment, this is a beautiful accumulation and journey for myself with the mother and the father energy, the cosmic ones. And for so long, the grandmothers have been shrouded in the cosmos by this earth plane. And what that has done is actually shrouded the mother. And to remember and embrace that the mother is the creator of all. And that is a very sacred opportunity if you're born a biological female. And whether you embrace that in this lifetime or not, it's still that sacred potential that's there in whatever form. And for those of you that maybe long to be that or remember being that, trust in the process, that it's not something you have to grasp for. It's best not to grasp for it, and trust that when the time is right, you will probably meet that again. And so in this moment, each one of you, from an energetic standpoint, has the feminine. So imagine an aspect of yourself that has been shrouded, ancestral lineage that's been shrouded, covered, and your internal being has been covered too. So as you pull down those veils for yourself and reconnect to those remembrances, you will have the opportunity to embrace this aspect of yourself. And that helps you understand yourself a little bit more. And the beautiful thing is that it clears that channel so that you can be a better conduit to the energy of creation. No matter what body you were born into, that you have the ability to receive without those smokes and mirrors that have kept the energies and the sounds and the transmissions from long before here meet you. And now we're at this beautiful cosmic moment. That's the reuniting of these two forces. And when that happens, this power is returned to each and every one of you. And it's heart-based. So the distortion came in the sacral, which is ironic because that's where we create the child in the womb. But the distortion came in there. I've talked about this before, especially with sexual energy. And almost as if you could imagine the male energy, the external male energy, came in and didn't understand its place with the feminine. And rather than become enamored with what that is and learn from it, there was a lot of grasping and stealing and taking till the feminine ancestry has been completely suppressed. The good news is that it's awakening in each and every one of us, and that to remember that we are organic, and this moment is about you choosing. It's not to say that you won't have to interface with some of these things, but it's you choosing the organic ecosystem that we're so blessed to be a part of in this dimensional field, or not. And within that, then your reality will bit by bit lead in those directions. What will happen, many might still be able to observe this, is that an inorganic system is a closed loop system, a binary system, a system that will eventually go through a heat death and become obsolete, like your operating systems on your phones and computers. They become obsolete for man-made reasons and other reasons. And in a organic system, it is a spiraling system. It's a system that continues to flow, it expands, and then it comes back in like the tide and goes back out. And it's within those rhythms that the feminine was suppressed. And now we're getting all together again, and it's going to be a fun time. Because as I mentioned earlier, it's typically the woman that pulls everything back together again when chaos ensues. And for anyone that has a severe imbalance through the sacral, this is your time. This is a beautiful time to purify, clear, to really choose, do I want to be held hostage to this artificial imbalance that has kept me from knowing such sacred aspects of myself? And so that is a choice, and one I encourage you, if you're inspired to sit with. And then what happens is then life is actually led through the heart, and that heart is divinity. It's running in and out of all of us. And yes, you can have emotions, but to be in the highest resonance, those emotions are very small blips. And it gives a lot of people peace to know that they don't have to be run by their emotions. And that's freedom. That's really going to the beyond, as they would say in Eastern teachings, where you move beyond the suffering of emotions and you're able to serve from there. And you move beyond the suffering of grasping sexually from the sacral, and there's amazing creation from there. And then there's the opportunity for these two fields within you to dance. And the mastery comes from working with these fields within you, and then finding resonating fields outside of you. And the easiest place to do this, if you're not so sure of your fellow humans right now, is to go out into nature, deep nature, where you can just be and feel the calm and the harmony, and understand that our natural state is calm, and there's nothing wrong with you if you feel calm. That's a good thing, and it helps everyone in the ride that we're on together called life. And the more people that can retain what you feel when you're in the forest, that helps the field and the resonance to reach a place where very beautiful things can occur without effort, with ease. And so this is that moment for all of us to really listen to our grandmothers, our abuelas, our nonnas. I don't know all the names in all the languages, but you know what I mean. And as you connect, you'll remember that it is those aspects of ourself that were the ones that took care of us, fed us, were able to relieve our parents even at times. And that might not be the case for everyone, but that in a community setting, that's how it was. And also the wisdom that was passed down through recipes, through stories, all of those things were held at the hearth of a home, which is the extension of the womb. And so before we go into the meditation, earlier when I was creating the graphic for this, I broke into a little song. We'll see if it'll come back up. It reminded me of a journey I took long ago. In this lifetime, it feels long ago. Probably about 14 years ago. And I was on my own quest. and then entered ceremonies with some of the elders. And at the same time had a grandmother's ashes with me on that trip. And the most beautiful things happened. And what we saw, me and the high priest in the fire ceremony after I was done with my practices and my questing, and at the water ceremony out in the middle of the lake, everything was so interactive and pointing to this moment of the mothers, the earth mother, the grandmother, the mother in each and every one of you, coming together and straightening everything up again. And bit by bit or instantaneously, anything that generates fear, doubt, harm to humans, children, animals, will be peeling away. And so there's many choices, and it's not necessarily that it'll be all overnight, but it might. We'll see. But I encourage you to start reconnecting to this energy so that you can really, for yourself, ask yourself when you go to take action, am I creating fear? Am I creating doubt, shame? Am I violating someone mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually? All of these things are the demise of the human experience right now. And if you're ready, start sweeping them away. And the change, it can take a minute, you know. Cosmic time and earth time are very different. But as you clear this energy for yourself and bring yourself into a resonance that creates a well society, each one of you can do your part by examining self. And I've been talking about that. Now it's a little bit deeper for you to go in and be really radically honest with yourself and see where you have those inner imbalances and where you can bring them into harmony for the benefit of all. So why don't you come up into an upright seated position, and if that's possible, and then I ask you to go ahead and do a soft gaze at a focal point, especially if you have the tendency for a busy mind. Just focus in. That's better because it'll help quiet your mind. And if you have any trauma, the open eye meditation will help release any of those in your mind. So no time like the present, start clearing things out. And then I'm just going to dive into what was coming up. It felt very much a remembrance from this time on the lake, up on the mountain, overlooking the stillness.
circle in the sand. circle in the sand.
And gently from there, I welcome you to gently lean back and recline or move fully into Shavasana, a prone position on your back with your palms facing upward as we transition into receiving sound. As you settle in, just take a nice gentle breath into the heart and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then continue to follow your natural breathing pattern. e ungi 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 e ungi 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 ungi. Taking a soft, gentle breath, breathing in and out. Welcoming each and every one of you into this moment. Just gently bringing your awareness back to your physical being. And take a nice, gentle breath in. And out. Again, inhale. And exhale. And another one, inhale. And exhale. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to follow your natural breathing pattern. If you're not ready to be upright, that's okay. I just want to encourage you to take a moment to express silent gratitude for yourself. Gently breathing in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Another one, inhale. And exhale. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I welcome you to connect to your heart center. And I welcome you to remember your grandmothers. And for each one of you, the beautiful part about that is in my family, my grandmother isn't my mom's grandmother, right? And my children's grandmother is my mother. So if each one of us just remembers our grandmothers, our mothers will be remembered too. And for you that don't have grandchildren, you get to be that point of transformation, meaning that the mamas without grandchildren right now, even the furry baby mamas, you get to be this conduit of help to transcend this remembrance. And then as you remember these aspects of your abuelas, your nonnas, your grandmothers, and I'm going to learn more words for grandma. As you remember, embrace those things that speak to you, that present themselves, like the gentleman bringing me cake, Even today, there was another wisdom in my class brought to me from a student, a grandmother. She asked questions. Do you teach this to practitioners? Sound. So there's all this information from our nonnas that are encouraging us. And maybe, just maybe, you can remember aspects of them. You at least had two. Some of you might have more, but your bloodline, you had two. Just there's aspects of them that run through you, and as you reconnect to that, that helps take that shroud away from the cosmic mother, from the earth mother, and our grandmothers are going to help us do that. And with that, then you will have the ability and the remembrance to embrace an aspect of you, to receive what's needed, and then to create and give and help free the entire world system from the things that are no longer welcome here. And each one of you can be a helping hand. As my Hopi family will say, you are the ones you're waiting for. It is our responsibility as caretakers of this moment to clean up the world for the generations to come. It starts with the individual and spirals out, just like the cycles of the moon. It's not linear. It's not term limits. It's not any of those things. It's not Chronos time. It's not a banker's calendar. It's a lunation. And she's here. She's ready to help remind you all. So I'm excited. Share what revelations you've had. You can email me. You can comment below wherever you're listening to this, if it allows that. And until next time, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I want to thank Kadri Scott, Dante Marino, Random Rab for doing your part. So we're going to exit out with Kadri Scott. And until next time, embrace what you remember from your family.
Yeah, something changed. It'll feel so strange now. And if you show what remains, I will never say no. And like a river flows, my love remains. And I'm not ready to let go. So please just stay, Jasmine. Warm air and cinnamon wood burning. Children laughing and people passing. The world spins, but we just stand still. There was love, watch it fade. Don't you feel so strange now? And how do you know people change if they never say so? And like a river flows, your love has strayed, 'cause you were ready to let go. I'll do the same, Jasmine. Warm air and cinnamon wood burning. Children laughing and people passing. The world spins, and we just stand still. Jasmine, warm air and cinnamon and wood burning. Children laughing and people passing. The